If you've been working hard on project after project, yet not being where you want to be after what seems like forever, it's easy to get frustrated that you don't have your own overnight success story. However, as Ryan Booth will share in this snippet from his Together workshop, every overnight success story is 10 years in the making, and how you spend that time is crucial to your career. For Ryan's full workshop, check out the Academy of Storytellers through the link below.
To that end, I think this quote is incredibly, nothing has been truer in my life than this, which is every overnight success is 10 years in the making. There's always that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, these people came out of nowhere. But the reality is they didn't come out of nowhere. They've been working for years and years and years and years with nobody paying attention. I think that's a critical component to the next thing, which I want to talk about, which is like how to develop your own voice. And that's like a workshop-y phrase or whatever, but all that means is if you made something and your name was not attached to it, could somebody go like, you totally made that. I've gotten before, just in the last year, somebody sent me a text message and was like, dude, have you seen this commercial that's on TV? Totally looks like you shot it. I, in fact, did shoot that commercial that was on TV. And that was, for me, like a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, like, maybe this thing is starting to click a little bit. Because that'll be the other thing that I'll qualify all the voice, finding your voice stuff, is you don't often know if it's you're not the judge of whether or not you've figured it out, if you found your own voice. That's other people. In the same way that when you make a film, you're not the one who gets to decide if it's good or not. It's for the audience to decide. So that's the trick. And unfortunate part is you don't get to decide if you've developed your voice. All you can do is churn through work, churn through work, churn through work, and hopefully figure it out. So definition of voice, in my opinion, it's your taste, it's your experience, and it's your expertise. And those things need to be in harmony for you to kind of have a thing to say. Basically, what is it that you're trying to say? Your taste is just your opinion. Don't take that for granted. Having a strong opinion that you can back up is like a huge part to moving forward in this career, basically. I get asked all the time, at this point in my career, a producer or a director will turn to me and say, what do you think? And I've got 40 or 50 people at that moment looking at me going, what do you think? At that point, it's my job to have an opinion that hopefully is correct, or at least interesting, and have enough experience to know why I'm saying, yeah, I think we should do this, or maybe we'll put the lights over here, or whatever. And that just comes through churning through a ton of work, unfortunately. I will say that again and again and again, this just takes time. It's cool. We're not going anywhere. This just takes time. Totally fine. No rush. Okay, last little bit on voice. So there's a difference between comparing yourself to other people and being inspired by the work that they do. You guys do not need to compare yourself to the work that I do. And the reason is you are not me. You will never shoot like me. You will never make it look like I made it. I will always do a better job of making it look like I shot it than you will, forever. It's just true, but that's what comparison is I'm gonna do it better than you're gonna do it, right? I love the way that Khalid shoots, so I'm gonna shoot like Khalid. Incorrect, he's gonna beat me every single time at shooting like Khalid, right? So there's a difference between comparison and inspiration. Inspiration is going, I come from a long list of people that are doing this job in some capacity, right? They're people that I'm inspired by. For me, I'm incredibly inspired by film and television at this point, but that starts up, and it goes way back further than this, but it starts with who are the people that I'm inspired by, right? So am I super familiar with Conrad Hall's movies? I've seen Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. It's really awesome. But the point is that he changed the way, and Gordon Willis, speaking of shadows, is he shot The Godfather. He was the king of shadows, right? And he inspired all of these guys, and these guys inspire me. They inspire the younger guys that are coming up, and then they, in turn, inspire the guys that are coming up behind them. And I think that knowing where your kind of hierarchy of inspiration comes from is incredibly critical and important. But knowing that these guys are inspiration for me, these are not the people that I compare myself to. The only person you compare yourself to is a past version of yourself, right? How are you doing it last year? How are you doing it the year before? Right now, my reel is from 2016. I've shot a whole year of work since then. My reel, I'm already comparing in my mind to the work that I'm doing right now. So the only person that you need to worry about comparing yourself to is yourself. Side note, I would love to see a lot more women on this list, by the way. I think that, you know, our job as filmmakers is to imagine a future that doesn't exist, right? It's to bring into reality something that isn't necessarily true at the moment. And I just, as a side note, I would love to see this list of people change. And of course, there's some amazing females like in this list for sure. I mean, Kate Arizmandi's a great DP. She's doing amazing work. I would say in this category. Rachel, the DP who shot Creed, is incredible. I'd put her in this category for sure. There are some for sure, but I would love for this list to be just blown apart and put back together with a whole different group of people. So that's part of what our job is to continue to imagine how things could be different.
Was your mind blown with knowledge just like mine was? Check the links in the description for the full workshop, and remember to subscribe to get more mind-blowing nuggets from professional filmmakers. And do share what your takeaways were in the comment section below. Go ahead, I'll wait.